Have you ever wondered why we have 7 days in a week instead of 10? Or why does a minute have 60 seconds instead of 100? I mean, doesn't it feel like we're just always running out of time? Well, if you didn't know the answers to these questions, you're probably feeling the irresistible urge to Google it right now. And guess what? That is what we call Jigyasa, curiosity, the power of questioning and the quest for knowledge. These are the kinds of questions that have always piqued my interest since I was very little. And learning the answers to these questions is even more exciting because it satisfied my inner curiosity. And it's that curiosity which led me down the path of the English language very early on in my life. Ever since I was young, I have always been curious about words and spelling. And even though it just started out with simple alphabet toys, it soon grew into a full-blown obsession about English. My parents say that I used to ask lots of questions all the time about the English alphabet. And so, sensing my voracious curiosity, they decided to drive 6 hours from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way to the Washington, D.C. area so that I could compete in my first spelling bee ever at the age of 2. When my dad tried to enroll me, this 2-year-old baby, into the spelling bee competition, the registrar thought that we were joking. And that makes sense because we had just challenged a societal norm by enrolling a 2-year-old into a spelling bee competition dominated by children over 5 times my age. But I got enrolled, and I even qualified past the written test of this bee to compete in the oral rounds of this competition. And this was just the first of many big doors that curiosity opened for me. The next year, when I was 3 years old, I became a member of high IQ society, Mensa, well below the average ages for taking an IQ test of 6 to 16 years. And later on, in 2016, I became the youngest boy to ever compete at the Scripps National Spelling Bee at the age of 6. And all of this started from that spark of curiosity that led me down this path. But here's the interesting thing. Jigyasa, curiosity, isn't just a driving force for me. It's a fundamental aspect of all of us. It's a distinctive characteristic of being human. In fact, Jigyasa leads to knowledge, and knowledge is power. It can change the world. And there's no greater example of this than our human race. In fact, that's why we are called Homo sapiens. Because, as it turns out, Homo means human, and sapiens means intelligent in Latin. We literally are the intelligent humans. This innate desire to explore the world around us and to venture beyond our comfort zone is the reason behind our greatest achievements, which have made the human species the most influential species on Earth. So, if we take a look at a timeline of human history, we can really take a look and understand several key milestones which served as turning points for our curiosity. Turning points fueled by curiosity. So let's take a look at some of those in just a moment. So if we can take a look at some key turning points that have been fueled by curiosity, that will give us a great understanding into how curiosity has changed the human species and the world. And the first one is bipedalism, the first key milestone. This is when humans began walking on 2 feet. Now, this adaptation was incredibly useful because not only did it free our hands to use tools and carry babies, but it also allowed us to stand up and see further, which offered a broader perspective of our world. I mean, imagine me being on stage and doing this TED Talk on all 4 limbs. I mean, that's pretty funny, right? But seriously, standing up using bipedalism meant that humans could now have a wider range of viewing. It means we could see further and scan our environment for threats and opportunities, like, for example, spotting a saber-toothed tiger, or perhaps more importantly, locating the nearest McDonald's. But curiosity fueled this whole exploration. And what that meant was humans were able to find new lands to explore and develop more complex societies. Now, these societies were a result of many different factors, but one of the most important ones was the discovery of fire. Because even though early humans could have easily just ran away if they ever saw a fire, getting scared, they decided to approach it. They realized, hey, what if we could use that fire to our advantage? They questioned, and the breakthrough that came about was not just a simple practical achievement, it was a game changer. Fire enabled early humans to cook their food, and cooking food means your nutrition is improved, digestion is facilitated better, and as a result, you have an increase in brain size and thus cognitive abilities. The difference that fire made was like comparing a flip phone to a smartphone. That difference is astounding, and that's what fire did. So early humans really made the most of their environment by being curious. And as a result of that, they were able to expand even further. And so they were able to turn what could have been a terrifying encounter with fire into a positive, important change for all of society. And the human curiosity did evolve just like we humans did. That's why the transition from a nomadic lifestyle to settled agricultural communities marked yet another very important step in our progress, another significant leap in humanity's collective journey. This is because now, with the capability of agriculture, why would you ever chase after dinner when instead you could just grow it in your own backyard? To this day, other species still have to hunt and gather food, while we humans had already cracked the code to food security thousands of years ago, freeing up our brains and allowing us to think far beyond just survival. This Neolithic revolution, as it is known, marked the start of modern civilization as we know it, combined with the domestication of animals, the usage of advanced tools, and the construction of shelters, all of which propelled our species even further along its journey. Each new question we asked led to discoveries that completely shaped and transformed our future. And so, that meant that in addition to all of these, modern civilization was being built through the power of questioning. But the curiosity of the human spirit did not just stop at agriculture. We questioned ourselves again and asked, how can we use the power of machinery to improve our lives? And that was a question that led to the Industrial Revolution, with inventions that changed our planet. From the steam engine to the spinning jenny, from electricity to light bulbs. These inventions and curiosity as a whole drove inventors to push the boundaries of what was possible, creating a world that was interconnected and rapidly advancing. Human curiosity really took off, quite literally, when the Wright brothers conquered the skies with the airplane, revolutionizing the way that we travel. But perhaps the greatest testament to humanity's inquisitive nature were the first human footsteps on the moon. The sheer ambition and curiosity to explore beyond our home planet demonstrates the true caliber of our Jigyasa. And since then, just in the past half century, We've seen advancements in medical sciences that have greatly extended healthy human lifespans through innovations in genetics, biotechnology, and personalized medicine. And in today's world, we are witnessing a brand new wave of curiosity driven by technological advancements. From the radio, to the telephone, to TV, all the way to computers and smartphones. And so, what we see here is that the IT revolution has completely transformed the way that we communicate, learn, and interact with one another by harnessing the power of the internet. Digital technology has transformed the world into one global village. It's sparking curiosity on an unprecedented scale. And now, asking if we can push the boundaries of what machines can do, not just humans, has led us into a new era powered by artificial intelligence, AI, which has the power to completely upend our modern society. But our innate curiosity, Jigyasa, the power of questioning, has completely transformed our society and made humans the total dominant species on Earth, from prehistoric times all the way to the present day. And even though curiosity is a natural trait that we all possess, there are a select few who have dared to take the next step and question even more, question themselves and the world around them. So, here are some of those revolutionary figures whose thoughtful questions have challenged the norm and transformed our society. Now, here is an interesting fact that is going to be super, super cool. On average, a 4-year-old toddler asks about 300 questions a day. 300 questions. That's a lot, right? But as it turns out, in most cases, that number significantly drops as that child grows up. But I have asked plenty of questions to my parents, and I still ask myself many. And I'd say that, in fact, I have benefited from the power of questioning. So, ever since I first competed at the National Spelling Bee, back in 2016, I have always continued to learn more about spelling in the English language. And my interest only continued to grow from there. I wanted to come back to the Nationals again and again and again, but that would not be an easy task to achieve. You see, every year, the pool of competitors for the Scripps National Spelling Bee starts from around 11 million school children around the world. From that pool, only about 250 national competitors will emerge who have won multiple regional bees coming up to that point. And the next year, every single person has to start over all the way from that pool of 11 million competitors if they want to make it back to the nationals. So as you can tell, that process is incredibly challenging. But my curiosity had no bounds. And I used the power of questioning to ask one simple question. Why not? And so I began working hard, preparing stronger and stronger, and coming back even stronger again and again. And now I am proud to say that I hold 2 records at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And my curiosity has continued even beyond spelling bees. And that includes television shows. I got opportunities in the entertainment field, including incorporating the elements of fun in spelling bees through appearances on numerous TV shows in Hollywood and around the world, including 3 times with legendary comedian Steve Harvey. In addition, I got the opportunity to be on popular Hollywood TV show Dancing with the Stars and became the youngest celebrity competitor in the show's history. In addition, I have been featured, my achievements have been showcased in a BBC documentary and a Netflix film. And now I'm a keynote speaker, sharing my experiences around the world to help inspire future generations. The crucial part about this whole story is that Jigyasa, the power of questioning, opened the doors for all of these opportunities. I have always been curious to learn more, never afraid to ask questions like how, why, and why not. Because sometimes the best questions lead to the most unexpected opportunities. We humans are innately curious. And so, I highly encourage each and every one of you to explore your Jigyasa and to recognize the power of questioning yourself and the world around you. Curiosity has been a driving force in shaping human history, as well as my personal journey, and I highly believe that it can help transform yours as well. So share ideas worth spreading. Ask questions. Fuel your curiosity to make a positive impact and contribute to a better world. So with that, let's return to those questions I asked at the very beginning. So why are there 7 days in a week? Well, it's because ancient cultures like the Babylonians wanted to honor the 7 planets that they thought existed at that time. So they dedicated 1 day to each planet. Now, as for the other question, well, I will leave that to your Jigyasa. Thank you.